Again, I've been doing this intro wrong. I apologize, Captain Jones. Well, first you need to know that Captain Jones and his accomplice, that would be me, are not on the same terms. Captain may give the orders, but I decide if and when. Now, at about this point in the adventures, I began to realize that I needed an antagonist. I needed somebody that we were working against in all of this. And once I figured out who it was, and they knew who they were going to be, I began to put together this story for Henry to discover. And part of that story, we realized it was a little bit more complicated than Susanna and I at first thought. See, the next letter came completely ciphered. And at this point, Susanna only had 3/4 of the cipher. And so she had to use the bits that she had in some context to figure out what was actually being said. She did a good job of that, figuring out the rest of the cipher and solving the message, which said that the night before, someone had gone into Captain's study and had stolen the 4th note with the rest of the cipher. He didn't know who it was, and so we were on high alert. Turns out Loralei had the letter. I'd given it to her and asked her to have it in her things and in view so that Susanna could see it and realize that her sister was working with the antagonist somehow. But it's much easier said than done. It was about this time that Susanna had a concussion. And it took a few weeks for this thing to pan out because she was out of the shows and we didn't want her thinking too much and doing too much. And so it took a while, but I was willing to be patient. I realized not as much of the story would go through, but I'm doing this whole thing for Susanna and for the others. And I was willing to let it slow down a little bit. Now, eventually she did see that letter in the midst of Loralei's things. And even then she wasn't willing to take something that wasn't in somebody else's place, which is for the best. And so we had to coax her and put it in a different place. Eventually she got the letter. She got it back and saw that Captain was trying to look into some other documents, specifically courtroom minutes that he thought might hold a clue to what was going on and who was involved. And so he asked Susanna to get those courtroom minutes. And as Henry, I was able to guide her down the street, white building on the left, 3rd story. They were there, on the top shelf of the bookcase. And I came by the next day and the courtroom minutes were gone. So that meant we were one step closer to finding who was behind all of this. I just realized we never explained what this is. Captain had been explaining that someone was attacking the faith of the saints. And Loralei was one of those victims. We needed to help her back to the faith and get her away from whoever this was, so we needed to know who it was. This brought us one step closer.